I hope you're all doing good. I am Mr. H. Thank you for joining me for this video where we are looking at two questions on simple harmonic motion. I've presented a very lengthy video on simple harmonic motion. I'll include the tag for that video in the information for this. Here we're just looking at two questions. Simple harmonic motion would be motion of an object where it is undergoing some form of a repetitive motion like wave-like movement, oscillation, vibration, rotation, swinging back and forth. Those are all examples. Anyhow, we're looking here at displacement. In this first question, there's zero displacement at time t equals 0, but the amplitude is 9 centimeters and period is 7 seconds. These are the equations we have to generate, either a sine wt or a cosine wt. This here is your distance is equal to a amplitude times sine or cosine. Omega, that's your w is your omega, angular frequency times time. Period is equal to 2 pi over omega. Period is the time it takes to complete one cycle. If you're talking about a pendulum, a period is an object going from right here up to here and then back. That's a period. If you're talking about a spring-like mass, a object suspended from a spring, and you pull it down, then a period or a cycle would be going up and then down. If it's starting from up, then it's going down and going up. So a full cycle includes a going and a coming movement. When you're looking at questions of this form, your first decision is, are we looking at a sine or cosine? And for that, you look right over here. If you're looking at a situation at time 0, you have zero displacement, you're thinking about sine, because if you think about sine graph, it goes through here at origin. At 0 time, there's zero displacement. If there's a situation such as at time 0, there's some form of a displacement, then you have cosine. As you know, it doesn't go to the origin. That's your clue. I have zero displacement at time 0, so I'm looking at a sine. I have an amplitude of 9. Amplitude is always absolute value of an A. If it's a negative value, it's positive. Period, 7 seconds for one cycle. We have that equation. Distance is equal to A, here 9, sine omega t, but I have to figure out omega by means of this. Period is equal to 2 pi divided by omega, and I know period is 7. 7 is equal to 2 pi over this variable, and that variable is 2 pi over 7. Plug it in, you'll have 2 pi over 7 t, and that's my answer. Distance is equal to 9 sine 2 pi over 7 t, which represents this harmonic motion. Our second and last question is this. We have an object which is displaced -4 at time t equals 0. It has an amplitude in terms of the harmonic motion of 4 centimeters, a period of 8 seconds. How can you visualize this? Consider this, a mass suspended by string. This right here is my equilibrium or rest position. If you were to pull the object down and start your experiment right here at time t equals 0, and you know it's going to rebound up, this here would represent a displacement here of -4 centimeters. If you were to start your experiment by pulling the spring up, because this right here is a natural position where the spring is slightly extended, but you push it up here, you've displaced your object at time t equals 0 at a positive 4 centimeters. But our experiment is looking at this. At time 0 we have -4. You know you're looking at a cosine, but there's an amplitude in absolute value which is going to convert that minus into a positive. Your equation is distance is equal to absolute value, which is 4 cosine, because we know we're not looking at an equilibrium position. And even the equilibrium position is pretty funny if you think about it. You could have an object being timed right here, but it wasn't really started here. It was already in an up and down motion. You just happen to capture it at here at time 0, so it is having a situation of 0, 0, for which then you would use a sine function. But the object was already in motion, just your experiment started exactly when the object happened to be in its resting position, and it was en route either going up or down. Anyhow, 4 cosine and omega t, period is equal to 8. 8 is equal to 2 pi divided by omega, and omega is equal to 2 pi over 8, which is pi over 4. So distance is equal to 4 cosine pi over 4t, and this here would be your answer, and your question is done. That's all we're showing you here in this video. Have a good day.